All right, darling. I hate to break it to you, but if you're here, food turns you on. So food arouses you and we register it as intimacy. Have you been told that before? Have you ever fantasized about food? Do you obsess over food? Do you have visceral reactions thinking about that bean and cheese burrito? That chia pudding, just slabs of country gravy, huh? I'm, sh- I'm shaking and I'm thinking about it, okay? Do you dream of a Thanksgiving dinner and just laying on the table and becoming one with said food? No? Okay, this might be not this might not be your video. This is for my freaky freaks, my junkies. Oh my gosh. Okay. Day 27, and I really want to say something that might sound uncomfortable, but it's very real. Um, Food can arouse us, and that arousal can feel like intimacy even when it's not. I forgot to put my little light on. Please excuse me. We are learning as we go in the game. How's that? Is that good? Is that good? Okay. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with you, dear. You fantasized about those drumsticks. Your mouth is watering. I'm on day 27 and I still get a whoo. I get the heebie-jeebies. Ah. And that's because I'm a recovering food addict. And that was a large reason why I went on this identity experiment of doing a 40-day fast. I saw there was a problem. I was seeing I was having a physical reaction to it. My own faculties could not rationalize why I shouldn't stop it. So I had to outsource. I had to pay for a coach. I had to get an accountability team. And it has been one of the greatest decisions I've made in a while. It was a heavy investment. But when you are so in the cycle of you, and even you can't get out of it, you know one of your behaviors is now becoming somewhat of a detriment. Honey, you got to reach out and borrow somebody else, somebody else's will or somebody else's accountability until you can garner your own. And I can't believe I would be the person to ever admit that. I am the brute force, do whatever's necessary, what comes to my mind, I'll bring to this world. It's just seasons of, wow, I need help with this. And how it lined up was so in alignment, how everything is kind of lining up. Just wanting to start new projects, wanting to start new things. When you have that declaration of wanting to start something new, sweetheart, are you ready? Are you ready when you're ready to hop from one branch to another? Are you ready for that branch? Oh, you thought you were just gonna hop. Oh no. Your patterns, you're still in the same position because your patterns have a chokehold on you. So in order to get you out of that chokehold, you got to do almost something as equally as aggressive. It may not look like, we're not doing WWE, we're not, doing backflips and stuff, but it might feel like that. Circumstances will come up to give you the opportunity to retreat and go back to what you know, or to spread your wings and be like, we just gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens on our way down. Okay. But as long as I can keep the vision, as long as I can keep my intention there of why I'm doing this, and sometimes even intentions phase, like, what am I really doing this for? You need accountability up until you can fly on your own. So that doesn't mean that anything is like wrong with you. I want to emphasize that. It means just the bond is deep. Sometimes it's ancestral, sometimes it's something you've been dealing with for years, for decades. It's okay. I have pictures swimming in gravy, swimming in soup. Oh my gosh, Olive Garden soup. I like, how some people use incense to cleanse their body? I would want to do that with like breadsticks. Like, oh, wait, yeah, yeah. You are aroused. You have an intimate relationship with food. We're just going to call it out. I'm not judging. We're just going to call it out. So when you have this arousal, what it actually means, I'm not talking, for the most part, I'm not talking about like a sexual arousal, even though I'm just saying, I'm talking about more like your nervous system arousal, that anticipation, that pleasure, that relief, that excitement. Oh, woo! Those short ribs sure do smell good. I could eat about a table of sushi, you know? It's soothing, that fullness that you feel from thinking constantly of lack. It's just lack, 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 lack. That's really what you're repeating. It's not enough. It's not enough. I need more. I need more. I need more. Arousal is when your body wakes up and it responds to something. Food does that incredibly well, especially the food we're manufacturing right now. That's made to be addictive. That's made to have you come back for second, thirds, and fourths, sweetheart. They ain't new to this. They true to this. Food lights up receptors in the brain, the flavor, the texture, the sweetness, the crunch. It activates dopamine, comfort, and memory. When you were a good little girl, did you get that treat? When you got yelled at, did you get your favorite food? Mine was rib tips from this place called Winfrey's in South Central LA. When we didn't have lunch money or when my mom was in her own binge episode, we all got to eat. We're like, oh shoot, okay, all right then. I think this is good. We have money to eat out. Oh, Hercules, Hercules, you know? Some examples of how this activates and how it looks is almost like the Pavlov experiments. Like you have anticipation before eating. You're salivating. It encompasses all that you're thinking about. I just gotta get to this drive-through, baby. I just gotta get that little Chick-fil-A. I just get me one waffle fry. Ooh, ooh, one waffle. And you accidentally just spill one on your chest. You're like, ah, right there, Poppy. Right there, Poppy. You know? Get that Chick-fil-A sauce open. You're anticipating the first bite, the exhale after, the calm after, because you got what you wanted. You got that immediate gratification. Good for you. Your body learns this is pleasure. This is safety. This is relief. This gets our mind off of the stress. This gets the mind off of the bills. That's not hunger. That's a bond. You are bonded. You are fused. Why it feels like intimacy is, let's remember, intimacy is anything that is like, it consistently soothes you. It meets you where you're at. And it makes you feel held. It makes you feel protected. It makes you feel full. Food is warm. It's reliable. Oh, it's so responsive. Oh, you get to eat. Your salivatory glands are you're going to have to get a mop. You're going to have to get a mop because you're just so overstimulated. It's responsive. It doesn't reject you. It doesn't abandon you. So for many of us, food became our most consistent, reliable, intimate experience. We weren't getting this from our household. We weren't getting this from our relationships. You can count on McDonald's being consistent. You can count on that Rib Shack, even though, the desserts might fluctuate, but that they'll always have that beef brisket, baby. Okay? And that beef biscuit's always gonna make you feel good. All that chewing and you get movement, you get caught up in the storm. I'm almost 4 weeks in, and I still like clench. I still that's how that's how I know, sweetheart. This is more than food. And for some of us, food showed up when people couldn't, when people didn't. So it's bigger than just how something tastes. It's there to comfort us when our emotions weren't met, when our parents were too tired to talk about why we're sad, or they forgot to give us lunch money for the third day in the row, or their new shoes, or their shoes are just, they need new shoes. You learn not to complain. There was no structure. Everything was chaotic. I didn't know when I was. This was before cell phones. I didn't know when my mom was going to pick us up from school. We just knew we had to go to the library, wait for her to get off of work, and by the time going having no lunch money, it's like, oh well, I'll eat whatever. We had the Chinese food donut shop and McDonald's in South Central LA, and El Pollo Loco, and an El Pollo Loco. Dang, it's been decades since I seen an El Pollo Loco. You get pleasure when joy is scarce when it comes to food. You regulate with food because no one taught us how to sit with our emotions, to express. Mind you, most of this is formed as a kid when we don't have the power to rationalize. We can't make sense. We just know what feels right here and there. Oh, mom gave us this. Okay, then we're good. Dad gave us this. Okay, then I mean, we're starving, you know? The nervous system bonded to what was available. Food is always accessible. Mommy and daddy's time is not. Food is on every corner. The friends that you live an hour and a half with that you don't even have time to do sleepovers. You don't even have time to bond. You don't have time to do anything. You live so far away that you kind of give up on friendships. You kind of give up on your parents being there. You kind of give up, like, tell me what you've given up on. What did food replace? How did food replace your disappointments or how things were occurring in your life at that point in time? This is how you this is how you know if you're experiencing food as intimacy. And I really want you to reflect on this. It's not a diagnosis, just a couple of observances. Just observing. You get this excitement that goes beyond hunger. And if you really check in and you learn to be aware when you're in this like heightened mode and you check with your stomach, like, are you actually starving? Most of the time, it's like, no, girl, we good. We good. But I mean, you want to send something down here, I guess. Eating feels like connection. Nobody sees you scarfing down that number 6 double combo in the safety of your room. You may have brought a granola bar to work, but you had a 5-course meal when you got home to cope with the stress, to cope with the loneliness, to cope with things that are not going your way, to cope with to cope with you not speaking on your needs, your emotional needs, your physical needs. Food feels like a reward after a long day, a stressful day. It feels like a release. And when food is removed, or you say, oh, I'm really going to budget, or, oh, I'm really just going to start eating at home, you feel like you actually lost a good friend who has been consoling you for decades, who has been nourishing you, who has been giving you attention, who has been so consistent. And that's when cravings they feel emotional. You start getting headaches, you start getting stomach aches, but you're fine. Like you're satiated. You're not hungry. So why does this happen? I think it's so important to also remember that food isn't bad. It's been doing more than just satiating you and fueling you. It's been feeling, it's not fueling, it's filling those crevices and holes that don't require food. That's not the natural fuel source. The natural fuel source for those ridges and depths are actually self-reflection, are actually found in meditation, are actually found in journaling, are actually found in pausing, are actually found in wanting to understand why you have the sensation when your body's telling you something different and wanting to know the language of your body. You should know what it feels like to actually be hungry, not just to have a craving. So when you're fasting and when food is removed, what disappears is not just the calories, the selections, it's the closeness. This was your friend. This was your reliable source of fuel. This, you know, what do you do with your time? Half a third of your time was in the drive-through. A third of your time was what am I gonna eat today? The emotions feel sharper, the boredom, and if you're a workaholic, you'll just switch one addiction for another. The boredom feels louder, and this longing kind of shows up like, oh my gosh, I just want to experience that. And you think you remember how it feels. You think it made you feel great. It's a depreciating value. Only that really that first bite feels great. If every bite outside of that is depreciating, it doesn't feel as good as the first bite. But we think it does. That's the whole marketing around potato chips. Like you can't just have one because they know you would be probably satisfied with one. So they had to add these chemicals to keep you going to override your full receptors. I know gremlin is what's the opposite of gremlin? Gremlin is when that's your hungry receptors. And my gremlin, he's just been so like my gremlin's been on vacation for probably 20 years. He's probably like, she don't need me. She gonna eat regardless if I send a signal or not. Regardless if I send a signal or not. Fasting reveals all this. It reveals the attachments. It reveals the bonds. It reveals the truth. Are you ready to see the truth? The bond with food isn't shallow, like it's meaningful. Food played a role and it was meeting the needs that you didn't have language for or you couldn't rationalize. Of course not. Your prefrontal cortex wasn't even evolved that then. Healing is not cutting food off, or I don't want you to see it or look at it as cutting food off. We're just reteaching our nervous system new places to feel arousal, pleasure, and safety. That means sunlight on the skin. That means movement. That means gentle walking. That means music that doesn't always have to have words, but it has frequency. It has beats. It makes you move your hips. Stillness, creativity, like posting a YouTube video every day. Connection. Oh my gosh, my mailman who I always speak to, especially people who have service. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. I've only seen him from afar for about a year. And he's another black gentleman. Another black gentleman. He's a black gentleman. And, I always wanted to make him say hi, especially we're in Idaho. So people of color, I make sure that I see you. I'll see you. I'll see you. I see you. Randomly today, I was walking to get some red light therapy, and thankfully, it's only a couple miles from my house. And walking really gets me regulated, and keeps my cravings at bay. And I didn't know it. I saw him once. He's not on my route. He's not my mailman, but he's like the adjacent neighborhood. So I see him, within the 2 mile walk I do, and then 2 mile walk back. And I always just wave at him. He's always on the move. And out of nowhere, I was walking on my way back, and the mailman just pulls up on the side. I'm like, whoa, whoa, that pull up where you're like, whoa, whoa. Ain't no mailboxes over here. Hold on. Like, that swerve. Them things could swerve. And he was like, he got out. Mind you, this person has never talked to me. He got out. He was like, can I give you a dog a treat? I'm like, absolutely. You want to do for me? You want to do for my son? You want to give to me? I'm like, oh my gosh, just look at God. Just wanted to give me so much. I didn't even ask for this. Thankfully, when my dog has a treat in his mouth and we pass our dog park on our way home, he's less aggressive because he's holding on to his bone. My dog got attacked a year and a half ago by a German Shepherd. We almost lost him. So he has a little PTSD. So we're working with it. We're trying to keep him, exposed and all that. But I was able to have two full-on conversations because with people who had their dogs. I'm like, why is everybody supposed to be at work? Why are all y'all here? But it happened to be two great conversations that I wouldn't have had because my dog would have been so stimulated that I just try to get him out here. We try to sit with it. I try to soothe him and calm him like it's okay. And then sometimes it's just too much. So what a blessing that led to that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so open to whatever God wants to give to me, even if it's just the gift of conversation. I'm so grateful. So Food doesn't need to carry the weight. Oh, I gotta get going. Food doesn't need to carry the weight of stress anymore. It doesn't need to carry the weight of indecision or overwhelm. What is it for you? I know we've posted a couple videos of probably what it could be, of what it means. Geez, my calendar is going. This is the opportunity to really dive in and understand why you feel such an intimate relationship with food. What was the stand-in for the food? What did food stand in for you? Did I say that right? If food has felt intimate to you, like that doesn't mean you're broken. That doesn't mean, when you're ready, you're ready. But I just had made a decision that I will not have an external force governing my decision making, how I show up in my day, how I'm sweating and shaking. We're beyond that. For where I want to go, I need to be able to have all my faculties in order and not be hyperventilating over the thought of some macaroni and cheese and a sweet potato pie and some greens and some pinto beans and some. Oh, okay. Oh, gee. Oof. Oof. Lord have mercy. I keep bitter tea on me. That'll knock out your cravings in a heartbeat. It's like a lot of cloves in there. That'll knock it out. So yeah, if this resonated, comment one word food has been for you. Has it been comfort? Has it been pleasure? Has it been safety? Has it been relief? Or has it been connection? I'm so curious to know. You are safe here. Thank you for showing up. Day 27, we're not just changing what we consume, we're changing how we relate to what we consume. And that's on all levels. But currently, we just are focusing on food right now and the relationship with that. I appreciate you so much for tuning in. This is just a fun, playful, accountable conversation. And I mean, girl, the clavicles are starting to come out. So I hope you have a wonderful evening. You know where to find me tomorrow. I love you and I wish you the best in your journey. Let me know. I be talking to my ancestors. I'm like, ancestors, let me know what I should talk about tomorrow because one of my great mentors who commented on one of my videos. Hey, Glow, thank you, thank you, thank you. Which is so amazing. That feels so good to be acknowledged, doesn't it? Feel good to be acknowledged, even when, you know, you're giving yourself the grace and the freedom to start how you're supposed to start. You just started. So I gotta get going. I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a great night. Okay, bye from Idaho.